Chapter 32. A Good Pain. "Violet, have you found my grandson?" Iris exclaimed as she opened her front door. Violet beckoned Jack and Boy forward and followed them into the house. Once safely inside, Boy took down his hood and removed his hat. "Oh, thank heavens!" Iris hugged Boy for what felt like ages, then pulled back to properly see her grandson. "You look pasty, my lovely. Come in, come in. I'll make you something to round those hollow cheeks." The old woman ushered them down the hall to the kitchen. Macula, Rose and Anna stood up from the table as they entered the warm room. Rose rushed round to hug her daughter as Macula and Anna welcomed Boy and Jack. "You gave me such a fright, pet," Rose stuttered. "I'm fine, ma'am," Violet replied. She watched as Boy pushed back from his mother's embrace, choosing to hug Anna first. Macula's face dropped as he gave his mum a quick nod and sat down to the table. The room slipped into an awkward silence. "What happened to you, Boy?" Macula asked softly, breaking the quiet. "Tom took me. We found him in the outskirts, Violet tried to explain. "I can speak for myself," Boy snapped. Everything stopped. The room fell utterly still. Boy's face turned red. Then he stood up and raced from the table, banging the kitchen door behind him. Macula tried to follow, but Iris grabbed her arm. "No," she said, shaking her head. "Give him time." Boy's mother sat back down in silence. "Tell us what happened," Iris encouraged, as she finished making sandwiches. Violet's mind was caught up with worrying about Boy. Jack began to tell their story, and as she tuned in and out of snippets, Iris nudged her. "Take this to Boy," the old woman whispered, passing her a sandwich she'd just prepared. "He could do with his best friend right now." "But he doesn't like me at the moment," Violet whispered back. "He's just pretending. It's a little thing called pride, Violet. Take this to him. You'll both be fine." Violet got up from the table and was walking towards the door when Macula grabbed her elbow. "Tell him I'm sorry," Boy's mum whispered. Her eyes were sad. Violet nodded and went out into the hallway. Boy was sitting on the bottom stair, his head in his hands. Violet walked round the banisters and stopped in front of him. "Can I sit down?" She coughed awkwardly. "Free country," he huffed. A surge of rage raced through her, but she held her composure as she sat down beside him. "Ask me," Boy urged. "Ask you what?" Violet asked. "Something that proves I'm me. I know you won't believe me until you do. Go on." "I do believe you, Boy. I know it's you." "No, you don't. Don't lie. Ask me. Now." He was angry, much angrier than when Violet had ever seen him. "Okay, where did we first meet?" "In your bedroom, after I gave you the glasses. Though technically it kind of wasn't. It was in the archer's shop, when you were getting your first specs and I was being chased by the watchers." "See, I knew it was you," Violet smirked, though secretly she felt guilty for doubting him earlier. "This time, maybe." They slipped into an uneasy silence. "I'm really sorry," Violet whispered after a few minutes. Boy played with the strings of his hoodie. "I was just so confused and angry. I was sure I saw you with Connor, and you said it wasn't you. I didn't know what to believe. I mean, how could I have known you had a twin brother?" "How could you think I'd do anything like that?" Boy replied. There was pain in his voice. "How could you think I'd kidnapped Connor, or Beatrice, or anyone, Violet?" "I don't know," she replied quietly. "I saw you, or who I thought was you, and strange things were happening around town. Nothing made sense. But you're meant to know me, Violet. At least, I thought you did." Boy's voice faded. "You weren't telling me anything. I tried to ask you questions, but you said nothing was wrong." "I told you to trust me." "Yes, without giving me any reason to." Tears streamed down Violet's face, though she'd willed them not to. She looked away. The clock ticked over the fireplace in the sitting room, and noise from the street outside filtered in. The kitchen door opened and Macula stepped into the hall. "I heard you two fighting," she said, looking a little uneasy. "We weren't," her son answered. "You were, and I'm truly sorry for being the cause of that." "Why didn't you tell me I had a brother?" Boy asked, not looking up from his feet. "The first I knew about him was that photograph." "I wanted to tell you, so many times, Boy, but I thought I was protecting you. I wanted to find out what happened to Tom first, before I told you anything. I know now that was a mistake." "Would you stop trying to protect me?" Boy responded. "I protected myself for 12 years. His mother's head dropped, and Violet could feel the sting of Boy's words. "I know," Macula whispered. There were tears in her eyes. "I'm sorry, son. I'm so sorry, son." "Tom," Boy winced as if the word caused him pain. "How can you be my brother when he's trying to hurt everyone and make people believe I'm bad? How can I be related to him? He even turned my best friend against me." "No, please, Boy, I wasn't against you. I was worried about you," Violet corrected. "Please don't think I hated you. I wanted to help you, that's all." "I don't believe your brother has had a nice life, Boy." Macula's voice was steady. "I did the wrong thing giving you both up." "Maybe," Boy said under his breath. "I'll leave you be," his mum said, nodding gently at her son. She stepped away down the hall. "Ma'am," Boy said, when her hand was on the kitchen door. "Yes, son?" "You didn't do the wrong thing." "I love you, son," Macula replied. A sad smile played on her lips as she pushed open the door and disappeared inside. The pair sat in silence for a while more, as Violet racked her brain for something to say. She was about to stand up and leave when Boy spoke again. "Thanks for finding me," he said quietly. "Jack helped," Violet answered, unsure of what else to say. "I probably would have found you a lot quicker, though," Boy half smiled. "I was starved by the time you got there." "Well, you needed to lose some weight," Violet joked tentatively. Boy hit her shoulder, and her opposite elbow banged against the banister. "Hey! What was that for?" "For taking too long to rescue me," he joked. Violet grabbed her elbow. It throbbed a little, but it was a good pain. A pain that meant she might just be getting her old friend back.